Bernie, welcome to the program.
Good to be with you, Tom.
Thank you. A lot going on in Vermont and around the nation. We're going to be talking extensively about Reactor 3 at Daiichi. You've got the same kind of reactor going on in Vermont. Plus, I understand Vermont just passed single-payer health care.
Well, the House of Representatives still has to go to the Senate and still has a lot of work in front of it. But we had an interesting week. We're on break from Washington, so I had the opportunity to get around the state, and I like doing town meetings, getting out among the people, hearing what people have to say. And we did town meetings in the town Barry. We did one in St. Albans. We did one down in Bennington. We did one in last night in South Burlington. Huge turnouts. Just a whole lot of people wanting to discuss about the issues that are taking place in our country. And I'll tell you what, what I picked up from all of these meetings is there is a great deal of frustration with what's going on in Washington in terms of more and more tax breaks for people who don't need it, and then a Republican assault on programs that working families and the middle class desperately need. And I think what people are picking up on is that there is something wrong when the top 1% earns more income than the bottom 50%, when the richest people are getting richer while the poorest people in the middle class are becoming poorer. And then the conclusion of all that is that we give more tax breaks for the people on top, and you cut back on programs like community health centers, like Head Start, like Social Security Administration, the EPA, Pell Grants, community service block grant programs, all of which help low and moderate income people. So the rich get richer, and what they get is more tax breaks. Middle class and lower income people become poorer. What they get is cuts in programs that they desperately need. And at least as I go around the state of Vermont, that doesn't make sense to anybody. Yeah. And there's a lot of strong feelings about that.
On the front page of today's New York Times, by the way, General Electric just reported $14.2 billion in profits, $5.1 billion in the U.S., and not only did they not pay any taxes, they got a tax rebate of $3.2 billion.
But it's not what we should be very clear is, and it's some of the things that I've been talking about at the town meetings, it's don't think that General Electric is by any means unique in that. No. Recently, the Forbes magazine, the business magazine, said of Bank of America, they said, how did the Bank of America not pay any taxes on $4.4 billion in income? In 2009, ExxonMobil made $19 billion in profit. Not only did they not pay any federal income tax, they got a large rebate, $156 million rebate. Citigroup had $750 million profits in 2010, and guess what? Paid nothing in taxes. And on it goes. I got a long list of these large corporations who, in the case of General Electric, having a very sophisticated tax operation there, they write the laws, their lobbyists write the laws, they know how to avoid taxes, and on it goes. And I should also mention, as you remember, Tom, as part of the financial reform legislation, we got a provision in there calling for disclosure of who received $3 trillion in zero or almost zero interest loans from the Fed. This is above and beyond the TARP. And it turned out that way at the top of the list was our good friends at General Electric. So they received, I think $16 billion in low zero interest loans. These guys don't pay any taxes at all. They're shipping jobs abroad. And the good news is that the chairman of that company is now telling us how we can create jobs in America.
Yeah, Jeff Immelt.
Yeah. So on and on it goes. But the main point there is we have a deficit problem. It has to be addressed, but it cannot be addressed on the backs of the sick, the elderly, the poor, young people, the most vulnerable people in this country. The wealthiest people in this country who've been getting away with murder for years have got to contribute, and we've got to talk about shared sacrifice. So that's certainly one of the fights I'll be walking into on Monday when we return to Washington. And by the way, as soon as I get back, we'll also be talking about Social Security. I'm very happy to say that Harry Reid, the majority leader, has been playing a very, very strong role. When we absolutely need his leadership, he is stepping up to the plate there, and he has been very clear about saying that when you talk about deficit issues, Social Security should not be in anywhere near that discussion because Social Security has not contributed one nickel to the deficit. Social Security has a $2.6 trillion surplus, can pay out every benefit for the next 26 years, and it is very comforting to know that we have the majority leader playing a very strong role in that. If I can get to Washington on time, I'll join him for a rally on Monday afternoon on Social Security.
Great.
The issue of nuclear, obviously, is on everybody's mind, given the tragedy taking place in Japan. As you mentioned earlier, there are 23 reactors in the United States that are a similar design to what is partially melting down in Japan right now. One of them happens to be in Vernon, Vermont, which is right near Brattleboro, Vermont, the southern part of our state. For many years now, there has been concern in this state about the running of Yankee Nuclear. The problems that it has had a number of problems over the years. It was licensed for 40 years. The people of Vermont, I think, the vast majority of the people of Vermont think it should be terminated at the end of 40 years. The Vermont State Senate, by a 26-4 vote, said that's it, 40 years and you're out, start decommissioning. Unfortunately, our friends at the Nuclear Regulatory Commission, the NRC, said, no, we want to extend that license. We will see where we go, because you have the Fed saying one thing and the state saying the other thing. In this case, the state of Vermont uniquely has put itself in a position to play a role. I will do everything I can to help shut that plant down when its 40 years are over. And I think for Vermont and for America, the future is not nuclear. And I want everybody to hear this. It's not just the safety issue that you're seeing in Japan, or that there are 23 similar reactors in America. If you talk about the most expensive form of generating new electricity, do you know what it is, Tom?
It's nuclear.
It's nuclear. So if you're just talking about economics, if the nuclear industry was so confident about its cost effectiveness, all they have to do is go to their good friends on Wall Street and say, hey, give us the money, we'll build nuclear reactors. You know what? Wall Street ain't doing that. And furthermore, if the federal government were to say, listen, you guys are so confident about the safety, you don't need any federal insurance in case, God forbid, there's ever a disaster. You guys can go to the insurance companies, go to GetGo, and see that little green guy wants to give you some insurance for your nuclear power plant. You know what? The little green guy ain't going to do it.
Yeah.
So it's the American people through legislation that are providing a lot of the insurance. So the future, in my mind, is not nuclear. We can do it with energy efficiency and sustainable energy.
Great.